when I say cash, literally in savings accounts, just literally cash, being beaten by inflation. So I'm totally fine with having cash being beaten by inflation because its main purpose is there to give me liquidity.
Mm.
Its main purpose is there to give me peace of mind that no matter what happens, I'll be able to eat.
If you look at historical pattern of how Fed interest rate affects the market, there's no correlation, right? The Fed has like changed the rates for like more than 100 times for the past so many decades, but the market in general it's just going one direction, which is going up because when you are investor, I believe you are long-term optimistic about human society in terms of progression, right? We believe that we are definitely going to strive better, and that's how economy develop, and that's how companies make more money, we become more affluent, and that's how the market goes up.
Hey guys, so in this video, we're gonna flip the switch. If you watched the first two videos, Chloe gave her tips on how she's profitable and why she's super rich right now. And number two, how can you survive the bear market? She gave 4 tips. But what's very interesting is she's gonna ask me questions. I actually don't know what the questions are, and it's very hard when a very rich person is asking you questions, so you have to make good answers as well. So I actually don't know what it is, but Chloe, take it away. Whatever you want to ask, I'm game. We'll answer it.
Okay, Marvin, are you ready? It's very, very tough. I thought about this for 3 days, and I have 3 condensed questions that's going to challenge you intellectually.
Okay.
Question number 1 will be, I believe, like Marvin, you are such an experienced investor. You've been in the market for so long, right? What do you think is the number 1 useful investment philosophy or the investment approach that you have been, practicing and refining over the years to make you such a profitable investor you are today?
If you ask me that in different years, my answer would be different. But try to recall what has been something that has been very, very consistent in the way that I would invest is I make sure that I have my cash set, and then whatever is an excess in that, that's the only thing I invest. Very, very consistent. Always I make sure that I have enough cash for what I spend. I have enough cash as a buffer. I'm not just talking about emergency funds. I'm talking about also in terms of when fresh money would come in. I would always make sure that I cover all of my bases first, so that whatever's an excess, I always treat that as zero. That's one of the reasons why I can take on a lot of the riskier investments, because my mindset is this will go to zero. So when this goes to zero, I'm not scared whatever whatever would happen already, because everything will be my upside. So when I look at it that way, it allows me to take on investments or even risks that a lot of people think it's scary. But for me, it's not scary anymore, because even if it goes to zero, I'm still okay. And that was the same principle also when I looked at crypto, that okay, if whatever I put in crypto, all of them would crash, it goes to zero, I still have other investments, I still have stocks. If my stock market, if my stock portfolio doesn't do well, I still have cash. People always say, think about investments that when it drops, your money that you're willing to lose. I'm not looking at it that way. I'm always looking at money that's willing to go to zero. And especially looking at startups or even crypto or even doing futures, it really happens where you would have trades or positions that would not go the way you want it to go. And in spite of that, I'm okay. It really doesn't bother me, because I look at it from that perspective, that that the money that's allocated is something that won't change my life. It's something that won't affect me if it goes good or bad.
I think that is really powerful, because like what you mentioned, so many people are very anxious and emotional when it comes to investing, is because the cash and the amount to them is actually very important. They sometimes even like they never plan out their finances properly, and they end up just entire saving is being invested, and when the market goes against them, and that's when they make stupid decisions, because their finances, basically their whole saving is tied to the investment account. And I think what you say is very, very enlightening, that it's so important that we know and we do the right budgeting from the beginning, and that strike the emotion off from you as an investor, and that make you a stable investor actually. Well,
And you know what's interesting about that is because I don't invest to look for a jackpot. I look for something that I can get consistently. And looking back on your question, when I first started, I was in my early 20s at that time. And I was looking at, okay, I buy this. If it doesn't do well for the next 15 years, it doesn't matter. Eh. But because if it does well on year 16, 17, 18, then it might be something that might outperform other investments. I always look at it from a perspective that I'm in it for the long term, even if I'm trading or even if I'm investing. I'm in it for something that's longer than just a shorter period of time. Because even when I trade, I don't take it out. I just use it to buy more stocks, or I use it to just buy more to buy other asset classes. I never use it to buy stuff because the things that I need to buy stuff, they're already in cash.
Covered.
I
Yes.
use cash to buy stuff that I like, but I don't use investments to buy stuff that I like. So no, I I'm very very different from a lot of people that want to buy the Lambo or the other things.
Yeah.
I just enjoy investing as a whole.
Wow, that is so beautiful. And because of that, that you never put yourself under stressful situations because your cash is already covered, your expenses is already taken care of, and you don't have to put yourself into that kind of stress when the market goes against you. That's very, very actually very wise. That's something that
I don't know where the market will be in 10 years,
mm,
but I can't predict how much cash I have in 10 years. And so
mm,
why focus on things that I can't control when I can focus on things that I can control? And
mm,
because I know how much cash I could have in 10 years, that allows me to take as much risk for the next 10 years also.
mm.
Sure.
Wow, that is true. And when you are able to be so certain about the cash that you're able to generate, I think that has to do with all the different passive income that you get, or the some active income that you get, that and you are keep on developing yourself as a person, right? Your income skill set, and that's how that give you the assurance that, oh, even if the market kind of tank within this 1 to 2 years, it's okay because long term I know I'm going to make more income, and my more income is going to continue to invest. Is that right?
Yeah, but not just that. There's a flip side to this. There's something that's when you discuss this to other people, they don't like it. When I say cash, literally in savings accounts, just literally cash, being beaten by inflation. So I'm totally fine with having cash being beaten by inflation because its main purpose is there to give me liquidity.
Mm,
Its main purpose is there to give me peace of mind that no matter what happens, I'll be able to eat. I'll be able to do what I want. So I know this does not apply to a lot of people because they don't like storing cash because
yeah.
it gets beaten out. But for me, cash is very useful. Cash
Mm,
is bad if everything's in cash. But
mm,
if cash is stored for a purpose,
mm,
as a hedge, as a buffer, liquidity, then even though if it's beaten by inflation, that's the reason why you invest because it's the goal of your investments to beat inflation, but it's not the goal of the cash that you store to beat out inflation. The goal of cash is just to give you peace of mind because
buffer.
if you're investing and it doesn't give you peace of mind, then it's not worth investing at all.
That's right. That's right. Talking about, cash to giving that peace of mind. I know there's some crypto saving account. For example, if you convert your cash into let's say USDT, USDC, that also give you, I think, 6 to 10% interest rate, right? So what makes you not want to do that instead? I
Oh,
thought that is pretty much safe because it's pegged by the US dollar.
because I totally separate my fiat from crypto.
Mm,
Whatever is in crypto is whatever's in fiat is what I plan to use for
mm,
liquidity, for expenses, for whatever things that I want to
mm,
spend on. Whatever's in crypto, will just stay in crypto. I don't plan to bring it
mhm,
back to fiat. I don't plan to use. So I do that. USDT, USDC, BUSD, staked into something that could give me a rate of
yeah.
return. But whatever I get there it doesn't go back to fiat
Ah,
anymore. It just
okay.
stays in crypto. It just stays in crypto. And since you open crypto, crypto I think is superior, one of the most superior assets out there. So why
Mm,
would I bring it back into to a currency that has been there for hundreds of years, that's devaluated, that people just keep on printing and printing and printing, and the
mm,
value becomes it doesn't have as much value because they
mm,
just keep printing in it. So crypto is assets 2.0. It's a
mm,
better version of whatever was analog or traditional out there. So when you have something that's already here, why bring it back there? So that's why I don't. That's, I guess, I don't know if a lot of people do that, but that's my ideology on why, when you've already upgraded, why would you want to downgrade into something else?
That's very interesting. We can talk about crypto later. I think that's my last questions as well. Let's go to the second question, right? Since it's gonna be a hard question, so
Okay.
maybe you can share with us, what do you think is your greatest mistake that you have ever made, especially in like investment journey, and what do you learn from it?
Being too leveraged and not putting a stop loss into it, or hoping that, oh, it's still, it's still gonna do well, I'm gonna wait, it might turn back already, but deep inside it's time to close that position. So mistake wise, it's more on futures than in stocks and in other asset classes, because in stocks, even if you make a mistake, you can make a decision, I'll sell, but the losses are not as hurtful
Right.
compared
Yeah.
to futures.
Yeah.
Or if you don't sell, I'll just wait, on it, and then if what you
Yeah.
own actually has dividends, you still get something. But in futures, you can be called out, and you lose everything also. So it's being over leveraged, and it's not selling when I already know the charts that I'm supposed to actually sell, and clinging that, this might still be okay. So more of that from a trading aspect. From asset class perspective, my biggest mistake, I heard about Bitcoin 2013. I should have studied it at that time. I should have taken the time to understand it, instead of being so biased that the stock market is the best investment out there, that it's the way to go, that everything else is not as good, or everything else that does better than the stock market is a Ponzi scheme, or it's a pump and dump, or it's a bubble. um Coming from someone who's in TradFi all his life, you'd somehow have your own biases, but that's why it's so important to be to keep on learning. It's so
Yes.
important to learn that when there's something new, you don't dismiss it quickly, but
Yeah.
you take the time to learn it, and then try it. Because when I tried it, that's when I actually found out that, okay, I know what it is. I studied even more. When you have skin in the game, that's when you actually try to research more about it. So looking back at it, when I heard about it in 2013 or even 2014, I should have placed a small amount of money.
Mm.
If it goes to zero, I'm still okay, but I dismissed it. It hurts.
Yeah, it hurts when you see the future gain right now, but I think it's also exactly because it hurts that makes you realize this is a big mistake, and then that prevent yourself from, falling the same path again, right?
But that's what's interesting about Bitcoin compared to other asset classes. Bitcoin in 2013 versus Bitcoin in 2022 or Bitcoin in 2008, the technology's been the same.
Yeah.
It's not like it's Facebook that bought Instagram, or it's Facebook that transitioned into Meta, or it's Microsoft that bought Skype, something like that.
Mm.
Bitcoin in 2013 is the same as Bitcoin in 2022. It's just pure store of value, and I just dismissed it. That's my mistake.
Mm. I see. So since we are talking about, like dismissing the idea that was like a mistake, right? What do you think about NFT? What's your take on that? Do you see that rather than dismissing it, actually you are actually spending more time researching into the potential future?
Oh, I'm a big fan of NFTs. Yeah, I have a lot of it. I'm a big fan of NFTs. Similar to tech stocks and startups, not a lot of NFTs over the next decade will make it. It will only be the ones that, in my opinion, are superior, that will probably make it, or the ones that will have utility or real life use cases that will probably make it. But um, similar to what I said about Bitcoin, when I first heard about NFTs, I tried everything already. So I did everything already. Did I make a lot of mistakes buying some of the things that I should not have bought? Yeah, I did, but it's okay, because those mistakes taught me more than what I ever learned in high school or college. And those things that I invested in, also in NFTs, it allowed me to realize already what will work. What are the iterations of NFTs that will work, and what are the things that people perceived about NFTs that are not there. So Do I believe NFTs will be part of the future? I really do. I really believe that when people buy concert tickets in the future, it won't be physical tickets anymore. It will be an NFT that they could trade that could possibly have value. Or when you go to, for example, Chloe goes to Takashimaya and buys her favorite bag there, the brand will, instead of getting a loyalty card, you'll buy an NFT, or they'll give you an NFT, and that NFT will have some perks also in it. It's just a digital
Mm,
version of everything that we're actually doing right now. It's
mm,
and it makes sense for companies. It really makes sense. If I'm Singapore Airlines,
mm,
why would I print a ticket when it's harmful for the environment and it costs me more money when I can just make an NFT that's actually digital and people can store in their phones? There's so much use cases that people can have into it, that I really believe that it's just so early that
mm,
we haven't really seen how big this could possibly be. I'm okay to position in certain things that if it doesn't do well, it's okay. But if it does well, then I also get to benefit from it. So I think not a lot of NFTs will make it.
mm,
Um, Over the macro, I think this will be one of the things that will change and shift how we will do things. And I'll say this, Chloe, that
mm,
people understand NFTs more than they'll ever understand an Ethereum layer 2 scaling solution. It's harder to understand that, but they do understand. Oh, I buy this NFT, I can get 20% discount
mm,
from Raminagi. That's
mm,
something that people can understand.
mm. It's more approachable, more relatable to business and to people's lives, and that's why you think that like the adoption will be there in the future.
Yep, yep. And what if someone sold you an NFT that there's only 10,000 of these NFTs, but if
Mm,
you buy this NFT, you get 20% discount in Singapore Airlines for the rest of your life, or you get a
mm,
free upgrade for the rest of your life. Won't you
mm.
buy it?
That's true. That's true. And the beauty of an NFT is whenever that you buy and sell this, the original creator also get a royalty from that, and that benefits the creator as well.
Yep, yep. So that's another facet of it also.
Yeah.
Like if I'm Uniqlo, I give a I give a card or a pass. I don't get anything from it. But 5 years down the line, if the person who got the first NFT of that royalty card sells it, Uniqlo gets revenue. So
Yeah.
there's so many things that could be done off of it. There's so many things, but it's just so really really early still.
At the infant stage right now.
Yep, yep,
See.
yep.
Okay. So what's your advice on, for people who want to also, tap into the future of how cryptocurrency, how NFT can develop in the future? What's your advice for them?
Watch Arigato Investor in TikTok.
And watch Marvin as well on TikTok. He's very bullish on cryptocurrency.
My answer to that is this. Spend a lot of time to study. I first heard about Bitcoin 2013, but it took me 5 years to actually start, and
Mm,
uh, that that gave me enough, I guess, conviction to actually try it. But it was the lockdowns of 2020 that really gave me the time to understand it even more. What changed from 2020 to 2018 to 2020 was in 2018, I thought it was just a flip that at a certain point, when Bitcoin goes higher, then probably it's a good time to take profits. But when I had the time to actually study it, from when the lockdowns hit, I realized that, wait a minute, this is something that will
mm,
change a lot of the things that we're doing right now. This is something that will change the very fabric of the financial system. So, but I only knew that when I took the time to study. And I
mm,
only knew that when I took the time to allocate capital. So I guess my tip is take a lot of time to study and
mm,
put a small amount of money. You can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum for $10, $11.
yeah,
Buying a rubber shoe is more expensive right now than buying crypto. The bags that Chloe would
yeah,
buy in Kashimaya is more expensive than uh, than buying crypto right now, or what she ever buys in Ion, or whatever you shop whatever you shop on. So learn as much as you can, put a small amount, and give it 1 year, 2 years. If it doesn't make sense to you, then it's okay.
mm,
There are other assets, ETFs, REITs,
mm,
stocks.
mm,
forex options. There's a lot of things that
Yeah.
you could try, but what's nice about that is you have no regrets because you actually took the time to try it and learn it. And that's why
Yeah.
I'm talking to a Rigoto investor, because I know nothing about options. I'm not very good at options. So there.
I'm learning so much from you, Marvin. Thanks for all your insights. And I think it's so wise to just really spend the effort to go and learn, right? I think no effort is wasted. Like your learning is your own learning, right? And you never know how integrated different knowledge is. It may not make sense to you at this moment of time, but maybe a few years down the road, then things actually start to make sense as well. It's just like connecting the dots. And I think because of your advice, I'm going to spend more time to learn currency.
Got it. But you're very, very rich already. So thank you so much, Chloe, for being part of this series. Guys, follow her on TikTok, Arigato Investor. I'll put links down below. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything that we discussed, put it down below and we'll try to make videos on top of that. If you want Chloe back, put it in the comment section. I want Chloe, and then we'll see what we can do to have her. So I guess that's it. Chloe, any final words to people who are watching this video?
I think Marvin is giving so much value to all you guys, and keep on learning. Just like what Marvin said, investing is a journey. Never be too early to wave of ideas. You never know. Like these kind of ideas may just become the future. So it's very good to really start educating yourself, spend the effort, develop the conviction, and if you do have a conviction, then really start taking action to invest. And that's how your wealth will also start to compound as well. So wish everybody good luck. Yeah.
Got it. So I hope you guys learned a lot. Marvin Germo, I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon. God bless you all.